Myself and Cal were working together on a theme of the city and kind of, I suppose, Cork, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, kind of spatial history and kind of temporal geography and stuff like that.
Yeah. We really enjoyed it and we're excited to share these pieces with you this evening.
So, Docklands Sepulchre. H Hall, in the grain silos, each broken wall meets a piece of sky parcelled out by their own cavities, applied dentistry, capital gains, conference, H Hall and or centres, experiential retail extravaganzas await their application as if by paint, the gloss of fresh ground beans, polystyrene seat cups, beige shirts, Hall or and H draped across great tooth, or and H Hall spins, H Hall or and into the soil of the city's jawbone, Hall or and H drills its own grave.
Tetris City. We watch this metropolis demolish itself and build itself again, row on row, again and again and again. Each inch, each brick is soon switched for another as space morphs, expands, extends, then collapses into itself again. In water, the city eyes its reflection, makes plans to trim here, build there, condemns itself to endless change. On the docks, we watch as grain towers are knocked. Bricks removed, deleted line by line. As for days, diggers jerk through rubble. At dawn, sunlight fills this wall-less room. Where shadows were demolished, pigeons fly. Every time walls fall, the city gives us a sky glimpse, a brief blue. In an erasure of walls, we watch clouds dance through.
Ghost Estate. The Ghost Estate sprawls throughout the arteries of the city, voiceless flats, nodules and eyeless throats of those who choose to ignore the spectral web of its belonging. Stiff cash passes from pockets to the palms of the occupants, Agnieszka, Caroline, Nosiswe, Ishraq, who accept it like a deposit of seed into the wart of used condom and tossed onto their bedside lockers. Shadow, Pussy, Nubian Queen and Lollipop take to the stage the polished pole and their lodgings in Blackpool under the tidal gaze of their owners, and when they glance out the window, the city looks the other way.
Where bats draw sky paths. All day into dusk, footsteps echo along the floor of the convent as nuns, women whose faces we can't imagine, move to bells, lips closed, until a final chime sends them to bed. Then, from gaps under the rafters, pipistrelles rise. Ravenous bats, they scatter overhead, black wings beating a path over houses and trees to the vast black of the loch. Flickering, they smudge our skies, gorging on clouds of midges and moths. Like black blots spilled between quill and inkwell, they mark our nights, moving from lake to convent, from convent to lake. When we glimpse them in flight, our pupils dilate. The convent sleeps, and above the bats follow sky paths, stammering through dark by inherited maps.
Gallows Green. The chant still registers from Barrack Street in the pulse of its stones. Howls of the condemned contrast against St. Finbarr's spires, the shadow play of faith and tears of state and lovers to never fuck again, the broken neck erasing the taste of skin. We marched up Gallows Green to die for crimes against their queen.
We small cartographers of walls. Every day we walked the cracked path to school, held mothers' hands, hefted our patched satchels. We knew the route by heart, but by touch too, where our fingers dawdled on bin lids and windowsills. One wall was darker, taller than others, its old stone damp under our hands, moss-dappled bricks gripped in crumbling mortar, and the wall so tall that none of us could see over. When our fingers met the steel-railed gate, our feet slowed us to stare. We knew that others lived their lives inside, but our whispered questions were always shushed. We began to understand that behind city walls, secrets hide. When we asked why, her long steps quickened. Mother says, some things must be kept hidden.
Dance, fuck, trance. Deep house, chip shop, hitch girls, eat loose, tie skirt, music dance, come music dance, like life, eats boys, smoke joints, fuck, yes, shake skin, dance, taste, come tattoo, ink skin, lick hard, clit, come wet cock, dance, make dance, come take drugs, eat cunt, make dick, shiny night, silent light, upskirt, downstream, slick skin, come deep, house neat, dance, drugs, flash life, sky at night, loose shirt, dance, fuck, suck my cock, kiss my cunt, dance, come, dance.
How do you follow that? Drawing the city into our bodies. We live in this city, but it lives in us too. It inhabits the secret rooms within us. It exists in us like mood, writes on us like tattoos. The city knows all our organs, our clasps and doors. It lives in the soft rooms of our bodies, in our eyes, intestines, in our ears' coiled vestibules. This place becomes us when we inhale its air. In the twin grey rooms of our lungs, it blooms. The city pulses our blood, aerates every cell of our inner chambers, is wrung out, then enters our closed mouths. Between tongue and uvula it tastes itself, lingers between walls of tooth, then finds its way out, exhaled back into city surge, breath by breath, threads unspooled. We live in this city, yes, but the city lives in us too.
Underneath the bridge, an opening scarcely 2 feet high, and lying down, all that you could see is pure underbelly, moss, dirt, black oil, the filth that the town cannot bear to consider exists, let alone behold its aspect in the morning sun. As its inhabitants rise for a scavenge, Iniscarra struggles with the rain and releases all that it can hold, a sweeping wave, silk brown, wall of rats, bearing down on the dyke parade at 3 a.m. I awoke in my 4th floor flat above the water, got a paid day off from work. The art collection made the news destroyed. The 10 vagrants didn't. They simply inhaled the water, nighttime ink black, like the ink that wouldn't dare print their names.
Mapping water. This vein blues maps, splits our city into north and south, makes us take sides. In drenched syllables it speaks to us. We stole ground from water to build new streets, but still this river lurks under us, gurgling through culverts. Each winter it lunges upwards and floods, reminds us that it owns us. It seizes the streets, dissolves them again to the rivers they once were. Receding, it reveals a carpet of murk, all the sunken debris we dreamed of, crumpled cans, rats, plastic bags, a silt of brown blood. The river gifts us these souvenirs of what it once loved. We curse and fill bins, install flood barriers, scrub our streets clean, until on all our footpaths quartz ripples gleam.
14 sentences about a hometown. The city wore its designation like an oblique, hastily polished crown. To accommodate the governmental narrative of flames, the city itself was reconfigured, maps redrawn, and the place was ashes by dawn. Over 3 nights Dickens read to 1,000 people here, his only regret being that he couldn't convert more into shillings. The gaping harbour opened for fleets of ships and buttered them up before sending them off to rape their slaves with an enthusiastic, moneyed wave. Roger McElliot was told to burn the city and flee to Kerry. I don't know why. Cork's fortunes did not improve much during the course of the 16th century. John Walters, the rebel mayor executed for treason, greeted Perkin Warbeck with a leg of lamb and a banquet of the town's comeliest virgins. The Black Death is upon us, bring out your dead. From the city of spires sprung a city of mills and craft houses, but there is little evidence to support this. Sanitation was primitive by modern standards. Piss and shit scurried down the gullies and away to the harbour like rats from the proverbial ship. Gilbert MacTurgor took it to the Normans, and his lungs took to the sea like fish. Barry's cathedral pinched the skyline, the townsfolk scurried up and down the street, screaming in unspeakable tongues. By now, the fires were common, uncontained. Children, Gaelic, were born into flame. The monastic shelter struggled with the Ostmen. Dirty Danes scurried with fire and swords, eating and fucking all that lay before them. They carried fair hair, blue eyes, and the city in their supplies.
On Patrick Street. This part of the path was once a place apart, a tall glass box with a door that creaked in like pleats of an accordion. Not long ago we stood here, where a coiled cord looped long, and pressed a heavy black handset between shoulder and neck. Here we fumbled through coins, shoved them into a slot, clunk by clunk, and remembered long lists of digits that we knew by heart, until we heard the song of our need chime in some distant room. Then the lift, the click, the answer of the voice we waited for. There were times walking past you might see someone through glass, rubbing their brow, mouthing sorry, sorry, or laughing, head thrown back until knuckles rasped at the door. At dusk it glowed, lit from within. We don't speak about how it left or where it went. We hurry past that place on the footpath now, small square of empty cement, with plastic pressed to our ears repeating, I'm here, where are you? I'm here. Thank you.